How's it going, boys and girls? Welcome back to another King Dreamer video, and today I'm doing my AFL Round 12 tipping. I've sort of been a bit slack on doing the tipping videos the last couple of weeks, so I'm just going to go through what I tipped for Round 11. I got 7 out of 9. I tipped Sydney over Carlton. I put the 30-point. I put it as a 30-point margin on the ESPN app. I tipped St Kilda over Hawthorn, which was one of the ones I got wrong. I've tipped Freo over Melbourne. I just thought Freo, they're in a bit of form at the moment, and Melbourne just don't seem to have a full 4 quarters currently. Geelong over GWS, that's the second one that I got wrong. I thought it was actually going to be a thumping. I thought Geelong were going to do a 40-point just domination over the Giants. I tipped Gold Coast over the Bulldogs. I was watching this video the other week, and the Gold Coast players were saying that there was a lot of Gold Coast blokes who used to live up in the Northern Territory, so I thought, yeah, that will probably help them. I tipped Essendon over West Coast. I think everyone did. 96% of people did. I tipped Port over my Tigers. That was heartbreaking to have to do, but Port got up. I tipped Collingwood over North, and I tipped Adelaide over Brisbane. I think Adelaide this year at Adelaide Oval aren't going to get beat very often there. So I got the 7 out of 9. Round 12, the start of the bye week, is going to be an interesting week. We've got Melbourne versus Carlton. If you look at stats for this year, in all 11 rounds, the underdog has won the opening game. Does that go in Carlton's favour this week? I don't think so. I think Melbourne are going to win quite convincingly, and I think they're going to do it by 40 plus against the Blues. Next, we'll go to Adelaide Oval, and we have Hawthorn versus Port. Boy, Hawthorn 2 on the trot for the first time in a while. Realistically, I don't see them getting a third on the trot. I see Port just being way too strong for Hawthorn. Like, yes, Hawthorn's in some good form, but Port, their form currently is just a little better, and I think Port will do it. I think it's going to be competitive. I think it's going to be a 4-goal game. We head up to Optus Stadium next, and we've got West Coast Eagles, the very undermanned West Coast Eagles, facing Collingwood. Yeah, look, I'm expecting a 60-point to 100-point blowout. If teams that are healthy and don't have many injuries are struggling to beat Collingwood, how is a team that's got so many injuries like West Coast even going to compete? And I think West Coast are going to get absolutely demolished on their home deck. Next up, we have what's shaping up to be a blockbuster at Marvel Stadium. The Dogs and the Cats. The Cats are just having one of their worst seasons in quite a while. I seen an interesting stat on Facebook this morning. Geelong become the 15th team to lose to both Gold Coast and GWS in the same season. On average, teams that lose to both GWS and Gold Coast in the same season will finish about 14th. If you're a Geelong fan, you'd be a bit worried about that stat. Bulldogs, they just had a loss to Gold Coast up at TIO Stadium. Both teams' form is about the same, I think. I think it's going to be a goal either way, but I think the Cats are just going to get the job done against the Bulldogs. And to finish the Saturday fixtures, we head up to TIO Stadium. Gold Coast, second week in a row up at TIO Stadium, facing Adelaide. Now, this is another one that could go either way. And I think, again, the Gold Coast fellas that are from up in Darwin, or up in the Northern Territory, I think they're going to be the difference in this match. And I think having spent the whole week up there, essentially spending a fortnight up there, really, I think Gold Coast are going to be too strong for Adelaide in the Northern Territory, and I think they're going to get the job done by 12 points. We head to the Sunday fixtures, and we start that off with the Giants and the Tigers, and Richmond heading up to Giant Stadium, and unfortunately I think my Tigers are going to get done by the Giants. And it pains me to say that. My reasoning behind this is, look, Dimmer left because he said he was burnt out. I don't buy the burnt out theory. That's not for me to say. McWalters literally changed nothing on the weekend, and we got absolutely embarrassed. Like, the scoreline did not reflect how poorly we played. And honestly, Port should have beat us by a lot more. They had like 24 more inside 50s for the whole game, and it was just brutal to watch. GWS just had a brilliant game against the Cats as well, and it's hard for me to say, but yeah, I think the Giants are just going to be the better outfit and they're going to dismantle us. And we finish round 12 off, the Dons in the North. I thought Essendon were going to win by a lot more than what they did against West Coast. I'm actually a bit shocked that they didn't. And I think I'm going to stick with my guns and I'm going to say a 60-point win over North at Marvel Stadium for the Dons. I think they're just going to go from strength to strength. I think they're probably going to play one of their better games for the year. And I think it's just going to be like, Essendon football, Essendon's complete version of what they want to do in a game. This week, Brisbane, Freo, St Kilda and the Swans have the bye. Anyway, that's my tips for round 12. Let me know who you would have tipped different. Let me know who you think is going to have the biggest win this week and how much. And I'll see you all in the next video.